The only liberation that feminism seems to have brought women is the liberation to sell themselves back into sex slavery. Because every single girl, the minute she gets free, seems to be going on OnlyFans and selling her body online, okay? So this chick said, the lowest grade I got in college is this, fast tracking to get a graduate degree before becoming a mother. See, the eventual goal of being a PhD. Why do you need a PhD? You need a PhD to be a mother? What are you going to do with that? What's your real intention, okay? Now, I'm not saying that women can't.
Why are you doing stand-up comedy? Why aren't you popping out babies, Leonardo? It's the same question, right? It's just a professional choice that women make today, yourself included. That's just how it goes.
And have PhDs, and they can't make contributions to science and philosophy. There are that. Most women aren't going to do that. Most men aren't going to do that, right? Most men are going to work a job that's going to help them provide for their families. Nothing wrong with that. Some men are going to be high-level thinkers, analysis, and leaders who are going to change the world. Can't be all men, can't even be most men, because it doesn't work that way. Most women are just going to be mothers, if they're lucky, and raise the next generation of children. There's nothing wrong with that. Some women are going to be high-level thinkers, philosophers, and leaders who are going to help the men change the world. That's the reality, okay? So the biggest psyop we have put on women is that all of them have to be career boss bitches, and if they're not, they've somehow failed. So this woman feels like she has to get a PhD on her way to becoming a mother, when the truth is she just wants to be a mother.
Again, Google her name and look her up on YouTube. Lots of podcast interviews with her, lots of stand-up comedy routines. She's worked at the Comedy Mothership for Joe Rogan. She's no different than the woman that she's criticizing, right? Standard lifetime career boss bitch of stand-up comedy, and that's what she's chosen to do, right? It is what it is.
Second tweet: just got my tuition bill. Guess I have to do corn now. Okay. And I'm not going to show the picture because it's going to be a YouTube video, but she basically shows her boobs with some nipple covers. You want to be a mother? Seriously? Any man with any sense is not going to want you to be the mother of his children. Because if you have a daughter... That
doesn't matter. There's a lineup of loser men that are willing to wife up and look past women's overt promiscuity, shitty past ideas and all that sort of stuff. Again, let's go back to Jeff Bezos. Wife's up, a single mom of three kids from two different fathers, 4 prior engagements, a prior marriage. She basically screwed her way up the ladder, and she cheated on her ex with Bezos, when they got together. It's whatever. It is what it is, right?
You're going to teach her the same morality you want. And
there's lots of dudes out there for broads like that. Hoes will always find guys too. It's just reality of the world. Lots of porn stars have gotten married.
Last thing men want is for their daughter to be used the way you were. So you're going to find a beta lower tier male who you're not going to respect and who you're going to say things to like, do you have to grope my body every time you see me half naked? That's what you're going to do. So girls, the lesson is don't be like this. Don't fall into this.
Okay. So she goes for another 30 seconds over here. There happens to be a part 2 to this, which I'm going to flip on because I don't have enough time to do it here. Might as well do the part 2 because I got time. What the hell not? Let's see what she's got to say to follow up on the first one.
There is an epidemic of ugly women online complaining that men are not handsome enough for them. You heard it right. Ugly women who don't know they're ugly complaining about the men that they are well suited for. What's going on? I'll tell you what's going on. Women have been...
She's lost some weight. I don't know if, this has got to be recent because part 2 is probably in the last week, but she's not as thick as she looked in those stand-up bits that I saw.
And lying to each other for the last... How long has feminism been going on? Well, however long that is. And it's really ramped up in the last 20 to 30 years where we've seen this body positivity, everyone's beautiful, everyone's valuable bullshit. So now what we have is an epidemic of level 4, 5, 6, 304s thinking that they are God's gift to men. And the irony is totally lost on them when the internet has been reacting with absolute vitriol towards them because it seems as if they don't own a mirror. Let's start with patient 0. Now you'll notice she's Asian. That means 4 points taken off automatically on the attractive scale. I don't make up the rules. It is what it is.
I've always maintained that with Asian chicks, they're either 10s or 4s. You don't usually get much in between.
Now, if you are a boomer or a man over 65 with a retirement plan who's on his third divorce, you get 4 more points for attractiveness as an Asian. I don't make the rules. It's just what it is.
All very much aware we are living through a chopped man epidemic, and there's a big shortage of baddies. It's gone so bad to the point that, like, if I see an attractive man, it genuinely makes my day. I was walking on the sidewalk earlier and I saw a cute guy in his car, so I waved to him and he smiled back at me. And obviously he drove away after that. But I was like, oh my God, a cute guy? This was at 6:50 p.m. It's 7:17, and I'm still like, oh my God. And I feel like this is going to power me through my evening. Like, wow, I actually saw an attractive man today. Like, diamond in the rough, needle in the haystack. Seriously. So as we're all very much aware.
Right. She comes on here talking about a chopped man epidemic looking like that. What the hell is going on? Is nobody telling these women that they're ugly and that they need to lower their standards? Do you have any like self-aware? I don't know I'm lost for words. I don't know. Are these 304s getting like really hot dudes or something? Why would this woman think?
Now, I haven't seen this, but I'm going to tell you why they think, because women, they'll go and associate attention from guys with the attention from the guys that they want to be with, right? It's so weird because most guys are totally invisible to women. They'll only see the hot guys. Then they'll see the indifferent guys a little bit, not as much. And then like everybody else is a ghost, which is like 70 to 80% of guys. They're pretty much ghosts. But they get so much attention from guys in general on social media, DMs, likes, comments, you're beautiful. Like you can go on Instagram and you can find, like, I don't know who this chick is, but if somebody could find her fucking social media and look at the comments in the post, you'll see lots of guys calling her beautiful and, I'd marry you or whatever, it's always there. Men, there's an endless supply of men simping, and women confuse or they mistake that attention for attention from the guys that they want to be with. So it fries their wiring. Social media for women is just as harmful as pornography is for men. I've said this before, and it's like they give women unlimited social media so they can get validation and attention, and they give men pornography to sort of like placate that itch. It's a close enough simulation to intimacy that it's good enough for them, sort of thing, right? So they can scratch that part of their brain, sort of thing. And that's why you get chicks that are like, oh, I can get lots of hot guys. There's, baddies, and they call themselves baddies. And baddie is just really just a disagreeable, annoying chick. That's all that really translates to. Anytime I've heard a chick call herself a baddie, she's always just like this pain in the ass that you wouldn't want anything to do with anyway. But that's how they get this convoluted idea in their mind, is that they're just confusing all attention for attention from guys that they want to be with.
That a chopped man is not exactly the only thing that she can get. I'll tell you why. Because they're hoes. Hoes are sleeping around, and they're sleeping with men way above their league. And this makes them think, ooh, I'm attractive enough to get this man. That means that's the only level that I'm going to date. Now, let me tell you something, sweetie. Men will sleep with a range of anything. Now, not all men. There are high quality, like that guy you saw in the car. Notice that he drove away.
Yep.
Does that tell you something?
I'm out of here.
He drove away, sweetie. Do you think if you were Angelina Jolie and you waved to him, he would have drove away? No. He would have pulled over and he would have asked for your number.
Not Angelina.
That tells you something.
Fucking train wreck.
Cut it out. Okay? Because you're sleeping with men way more attractive than you, and you think that you can get that man. And what you don't understand is they're just using you. And I know you grew up in the post-feminist era that told you that, oh, we're all equal, and a man sleeping with a woman is the same as a woman sleeping with a man, and you're using him too. I know you live in La La Land, but none of that's true. None of it's true. Because men, they can bounce back from a sexual interaction and have no emotional recourse from it. Okay. Men can bounce back from a sexual interaction. It can mean nothing to them. And I know that there's a lot of you out there who like, doesn't mean anything to me either. If that's where you're genuinely at, I feel sorry for you. You have broken something inside of you that is sacred in womanhood. That's about bond.
Their brains break after a while, after they've been with too many guys. There's this notion of microchimerism. I'm probably pronouncing it completely wrong, but they won't study it in humans. They've only studied it in certain animal species that normally translate to humans. So if they if they want to test for disease, or if they want to test for certain behaviors, they usually test on certain animals, monkeys, rats, houseflies, stuff like that. They've only tested for microchimerism in certain animals, but they refuse to test it in human, because what they found is in these animals, male DNA, which comes from the sperm, is embedded in the female. They usually find it in the brain. And it doesn't come from the father. It doesn't come from a sibling. It doesn't come from a conjoined twin that, was there during the pregnancy. The only place that it can come from is from other males from sexual activity. She won't tell you that. They won't study it in medical science, but that's the other thing too, that potentially fries their brain. Women get with too many guys, they get too much D, and then they're just like incapable of pair bonding with a guy. The Teachman study overlaid on top of the Heritage study, you guys can go look it up. I've mentioned this many times before. Go do your damn fucking homework. But the more partners a woman has over time, and the younger they are when they lose their purity, their virginity, the more likely they are to be unhappy in marriage, the much higher probabilities and instances, you deal with SSRIs and antidepressants, single motherhood, number of abortions, blah, blah, blah. You go right down the list. There's no good that comes from female promiscuity when it comes to pair bonding. So if a woman's goal is pair bonding. All right, guys, I really hope that you enjoyed that clip. If you want to check out the full-length podcast episode, you can find that right over here. Also, make sure you visit my website over here, where you'll find my supplements, the opportunity to book me privately one-on-one for coaching, and most importantly, my new School of Unplugging, which you'll find on the courses tab. Newer to the channel, hit subscribe.